Welcome back, everybody, to Tri-County Sasquatch Watch. I am David Davidson Davies Jr., and I'm here, of course, with my lovely wife, Donna Rochelle Davies, and we believe. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a great show for you here. We're going to read a letter, but before we do that, I just wanted to remind all our listeners about Deborah's Cat Clothing Emporium down there on Main. Go and see Dee Dee. And Dee Dee has all your cat clothing and care and accessory needs taken care of. All of it. We go there all the time. She's great. She is so wonderful. And we're excited to be partnering with her to announce a whole new line. Oh my gosh. It is themed after the Downton Abbey show. You know, about those rich people and the servants, and they're all together. Anyway. She has the cutest little outfits for the butlers and the footmen, but Lady Crowley and the Dowager have their outfits. We even had Doug, and actually it was Dennis in the butler outfit.
Oh, he was adorable.
Cute. Oh my gosh. But, so, if it's cat clothing you need, Dee Dee's is the place to be.
She is fantastic. And those outfits are constructed with love.
And care.
Mm-hmm. And they are just
and quality.
Gorgeous.
And quality, too. They're going to last you a good
high
long
quality,
time.
yes.
Good long time. So, go and see Dee Dee.
Mm-hmm.
Tell her we sent you, and I think you get a 10% discount. So, just go down there to Dee Dee's, get taken care of. You'll be fine. But, as we talked about in the last episode, we talked about a letter we received from Missouri. So that letter came in from Terry. We're going to go ahead and read that to you. So pay attention to what's going on.
Go ahead. I got it right here. Now, I was not able to read the whole letter. David Davidson Davies did read the letter and shared some of that with me. So some of this is actually going to be a little new to me, but the overall of what he said was just chills. So I'm looking forward to it just as much as you all are. It starts out, Dear Mr. and Mrs. Davies, I'm writing to thank you for saving my family's lives. I'm from Gerald, a small town in Missouri with a population of 1,280. I have a house on 40 acres, about 15 minutes outside the main part of town. My family has owned this spot of land for generations, and when I was little, I would come and visit my grandparents for the entire summer vacation. That
wonderful?
Sounds a lot like you, David, doesn't it? It says here that, let me find my place again, on the spot of land for generations, and when I was little, I would come and visit my grandparents for the entire summer vacation. I used to love going out in the woods with my grandpap's dog, Tick, until I turned 10, and then it all changed.
Oh my gosh.
It says here, when I would visit for the summer, it felt like something was watching me. You know that feeling.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I would go out in the woods to hunt for morel mushrooms, and my hairs would stand up on the back of my neck, and I would get goosebumps up and down my arms.
Pay attention to that, folks.
The weirdest part was my head would feel fuzzy, not like I was dizzy, but like I was confused. I gotta stop there, David. I just can't. That's
so goosebumps. Hair on the rise on your back of your neck and on your arms, and fuzzy in the head. I'm telling you, Googling. That's Googling. She didn't know that at the time.
No, she didn't.
But she knew what was happening was weird, right?
She got Googled. So we're going to go back down here. And I think that is such a great way to describe it. Fuzzy in the head. Dizzy, like I was confused. I told my grandpap about it when I was a kid, and he told me that wait, let me go back real quick. Hold on one second, because it just threw me off with the Googling. I told my grandpap about it when I was a kid, and he told me that I have to be careful out in the woods, as there is something not natural going on out there. And I asked what he meant, and he said, Momo.
Momo, isn't that something?
I don't think a lot of people know what that is. I mean, you had to tell me.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell y'all what Momo is at the end of the letter. But I think it's important that these legends passed down, just like Dr. Wolfgang Z. Culbertson spoke of, when he labeled the American, North and South American Squatches, he labeled them based on where he was and what he knew at the time. Now, those names have changed. But that name sticks, don't it? That name sticks, and
sure
it's
does.
stuck. It's stuck to Grandpap. Now, Grandpap's a whole other generation, so he's been in the woods a long time. Go ahead.
All right. So she says, I was stumped. Momo. I don't know what a Momo is. I asked Grandpap what it is, and he said, just hope you never find out.
Oh, my gosh.
So as a young kid, what did I do? I got on my slow dial-up internet computer and searched Momo. And it said it is the Missouri Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Wow. I went to my Grandpap the next day and said to him, why didn't you just tell me it was a Bigfoot you were talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You and I both know there is no such thing as a Bigfoot. Oh, my word.
Mm-hmm.
She was a bit naive, wasn't she?
At the time. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And he said, I wouldn't be so sure.
Oh, goodness.
He then told me his story.
Oh, boy.
So I guess this is from the perspective of her Grandpap.
Grandpap's telling her what's going on.
Okay. So he says, when I was out hunting raccoon with my dog Tick, we were out there, and I will never forget it. We had just finished up, no sign of any animals at all in the woods that night, and it was very quiet and cold. So Tick and I were in the truck, and I started it and popped the headlights on, and there, crouched behind a blackberry bush, I saw a face.
Mm-hmm.
It was a face like I had never seen before. And old Tick, he didn't like it one bit. And he got to whining, and that made me even more uncomfortable.
Goodness.
I know.
It's like I'm there.
Yeah, I know. She has a gift with writing.
She sure does.
Okay. So I was looking at Tick. Then I looked up, and I wasn't looking at a face anymore. I was looking at David Davidson. I was looking at an 8-foot tall, hairy man or ape thing. I did not like the look of it one bit.
I bet. For
a second, I thought about taking a shot, but then I felt really fuzzy. And next, I can't tell you how many times I've heard this. So I felt really fuzzy. And next thing I know, old Tick is licking my hand. And that big hairy thing has gotten closer to the truck.
Goodness.
Do you think Tick got Googled as well?
I think they both did, but this may not have been the Googling.
Because dogs can get Googled.
Yes, they can. And that's unfortunate.
And lead you further in.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because usually, thank goodness they were in a truck because I think that had something to do with it. Go ahead.
A truck? What?
Yeah, they were in the truck.
Okay, you tell me about that later. Okay. For a second, I thought about taking a shot, but then I felt really fuzzy. And next thing I know, old Tick is licking my hand, and that big hairy thing has gotten closer to the truck. I didn't wait any longer. I put that truck in reverse and gunned it backwards, nearly taking out a tree. I whipped it around and hightailed it right out of those woods, and I never hunted in that spot again. And poor old Tick was never the same after that.
That's a bet.
He never wanted to go back into the woods. I'm telling you, David Davidson, I don't know, but it sounds to me like, how would you describe that? If the dog got Googled.
I think what happened there is, because they were in the truck, there was some sort of interference. Remember, this is old time truck, so things are different then.
That's true. That's true. You don't think about that, do you?
Stuff like that, and so maybe it was the Googling where he was just looking for information, or maybe it was the Googling and maybe an accidental transference happened, or it could have been the Googlers like get out the truck. But maybe the Squatch is confused. Maybe he's a youngster. This
He's
is the
caught
first
off
time.
guard.
Yeah, he's out by himself. He's a youngster. He doesn't know what he's doing. But I think what happened was the man got the hit hardest, her grandpap, and the dog the least. That's why the dog, he woke up with the dog licking him. Like the dog's like, we got to get out of here. And the only way we're getting out of here is if grandpap wakes up.
Wow.
So he started licking his hand. Now, I could be completely wrong because there's a lot of stuff about
the Squatch. Well, it sounds like the
we don't
dog
know.
has PTSD.
I think the dog just knows.
Okay.
Is what's happening.
Like danger.
Yeah,
stay away. Never go back in there.
There's obviously he can't articulate danger, but he does what a dog does. When a dog don't go nowhere, yeah, that means you best probably not go nowhere either. But go ahead.
Okay. Okay, let me find my place again.
Yeah, he just took out that tree.
He wanted to go back. He did not. He never wanted to go back into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I said, sure, Grandpap. I guess that's back, Tracy's come back now. I said, sure, Grandpap. Are you sure you didn't have one too many of them bourbon and Cokes you like?
That's funny.
Oh, my goodness. I chuckled at my crazy old Grandpap and forgot that story.
Mm-hmm.
Time went on, and my Grandpap and my parents passed away. I'm sorry about that, Terry.
It's so sad.
It is sad, isn't it?
Whenever that generation, that's...
Anyway. That's a hard part there. So time went on, and my Grandpap and my parents passed away, and the land was handed down to me and my family. Now, my family... Let me go back there. Okay, now my family and I have been living in Warrensburg, Missouri. Is it Missouri or Missouri?
I'm not sure. I thought it was Missouri. Anyway.
Okay, so I have been living in Warrensburg, Missouri, and we were excited to move into my childhood home. I'm already starting to get chills. I think I know what's coming. It says we got all settled, and we were happy. But I had a feeling like I was being watched.
Again, see, it's happening again.
Oh my gosh, Terry. Can you imagine what that'd be like?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
I shook it off and thought nothing of it. One day, I asked my two sons if they wanted to go for a walk in the woods, and I could show them all my old favorite spots, and they told me no. They don't like the woods. They don't like how they feel when they look at the woods. I said, how do you feel when you look at the woods? And they told me they feel fuzzy.
See?
My gosh. Do you realize what's happening here?
Yes.
It's like a repeat. And it makes you wonder if her parents, because she said her grandparents had passed, and then her parents had passed, and then it went on to her. It makes you wonder, her story's connected to her grandpap, is what she
absolutely.
says. But do you think that, one, like the mother or the father, she doesn't say, do you think something happened to them and it was not disclosed? Yeah. No, she passed. Remember, she said her parents passed.
We can ask Terry.
I would love to do that because then that would talk about...
Maybe we'll get her to come on. Anyway, we'll ask.
Generational.
Yeah.
I said, how do you feel when you look at the woods? And they told me they feel fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
Fuzzy? I couldn't recall why fuzzy sounded familiar. A month after we moved in, my youngest son started sleeping with a nightlight again and didn't like for any of the curtains in the house to be open at all.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds serious.
Classic case of Google.
Gosh. I'm reading this now, but it's like I'm there. I feel for her. Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness. My other son started eating... Davidson Davies.
I'm telling you
I can't believe this.
You see this?
I can't believe you didn't tell me this part.
Folks, listen to this part.
Okay. I'm going to go back. So he didn't like the curtains in the house to be open at all. My other son started eating lots and lots of junk food.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
see?
My gosh.
See?
It's almost like nobody had to tell him.
No, he knew. Somewhere inside him, he knew.
An inherited experience.
An instinct.
My gosh. So it says my other son started eating lots and lots of junk food. I go and make cupcakes, and 3 would be gone in a matter of seconds. He told me when he ate the junk food, it made the fuzzy feeling go away.
See that? See that? That's the key, folks. We've told you about that. We've told you about that.
Oh my
There
gosh.
is something about your body's makeup that either attracts or makes
a target
Squatch,
is actually what it is.
or makes the Squatch go away. You're either going to make them come closer or you're going to make them go away. And see, so junk food, cats, they're all part of it. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back. Hold on.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry about that. I just get so distracted by all this information because it's just like
Classic. It's classic.
I just can't believe it. Okay, so he told me that when he ate the junk food, it made the fuzzy feeling go away. So I started doing some Googling.
Mm.
I guess she means like
On the computer.
on the
is what she
computer.
means.
Okay.
She don't know yet.
No, she does not. So I started doing some Googling, looking for answers about what could be going on with my sons. I was starting to worry maybe the house was haunted.
Mm-hmm. You could understand her thinking that. You could understand. She just doesn't know yet. But go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You're going to get. You're going to get startled here.
Just to stop for just a second, we will be addressing some of that as well. That's in another podcast, but that too does happen. But let's go back. I was starting to worry maybe the house was haunted. But my family has always owned the house, so that couldn't be it. Then I remembered my grandpa's story about Momo.
Mm-hmm.
So I started looking for Bigfoot information. My first stop was, now she puts
The link.
a link here to a fairly well-known informational site on Sasquatches. And I'm not going to mention it because of what you told me later.
Don't worry.
I don't want to be bashing or
Don't
anything
worry.
like that, because any information that's out there
It's better
is
than no information.
Exactly. So we're going to go ahead and leave that out, but I just want to say I really appreciate you putting that in there, because that lets us know that the information that we are giving was information you, going to a very well-known site, had not seen before.
Go ahead.
So this is very important.
But go ahead.
Okay, hold on. So it says that she had gone to this particular site, but that didn't help. It was just a place where people go to hunt for Bigfoot. I didn't want to hunt for it. I think I already had one.
Mm-hmm. See?
Oh my gosh.
See? It had flipped. But anyway, go ahead. This is
Okay.
exciting right here.
Then I came across a name, Dr. Culverson. I searched high and low for his book that he wrote, and then it happened. I found your website. I read all the articles and help sheets you all posted.
Mm.
I'm so thankful for that. Really, Terry, I'm so glad that that was available to you. It took me about a week to sift through. She must be a fast reader, because there's
telling
so
you,
much there.
That book, 1,790 pages, good grade.
My
anyway,
gosh.
Go ahead.
It says here that, let's see, it took me about a week to sift through all the data on your site. You all have done more research and know more than some of the best zoologists and cryptozoologists. My gosh, what a compliment.
I know.
After a week, I immediately went to the animal shelter and adopted 5 barn cats and 5 house cats.
See, she knows what she's doing. She knows
Terry,
what she's doing.
you are one smart cookie. Okay. And she sounds like she's really nice and that she's going to take good care of them. We don't want anybody out there adopting cats
That
just
you can't
for
take care of.
protection and
Yeah,
then
that
just
you can't take, yeah.
no. But this woman sounds like she was on a mission, and she was a kind mother who did not want her children to experience the things that she did. Yes.
Or her grandpap did.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it says she adopted 5 barn cats and 5 house cats.
So adorable.
That is one fuzzy security team, let me
It
tell you
sure
that.
is.
We named them all after junk food. I also make sure each of my kids has as many Pop-Tarts and snack cakes as they would like. Oh, isn't that
Now, brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant.
We also stopped eating salad with every meal.
Smart.
I mean, I just need to, let me just do this real quick, just for some that are out there. There are people who will never be in this situation. This is not for you, okay? This is not for you. And we are in no way saying nutritional benefits of salad is not something that your body needs. What we're saying is Terry was in an emergency situation, and there were things that had to be done. And this was, something
if you live 15 minutes from civilization.
Yes, if your Squatch is in your backyard, that's right.
You're in the middle of the woods. That's why it's important.
Exactly. So it says here we also stopped eating salad with every meal. Both my boys say they feel so much better now that they don't get the fuzzies at all anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They still don't want to go into the woods, and to be honest, neither do I. We are content to stay in our space. Now, there is more, so I apologize. She is content to stay in her space, surrounded by our cats, and leave the rest of the woods to Momo.
Not a blamer.
Oh my gosh. Our deepest thanks to Terry Schneider.
Mm-hmm.
Terry, thank you so much. And if there is any other things that you want to contact us about, please do. And maybe there will be a time we could actually have you come and do an actual live interview with us. That would be so, well, not live, but recorded, of course, but you would be here with us, and we could just ask whatever questions come to our mind and vice versa. She has also included, oh my gosh, look, David Davidson, did you?
I saw their cats.
And you didn't show it to me. Oh my gosh. Here is a picture of 5 of our house cats. Okay, so there's the 5 in the barn, and then the ones that she kept in the house. And the ones that she kept in the house, it says here from left to right, Ho-Ho, Twinkie, Twizzler, Donut, and Pepsi.
Isn't that great?
Oh my gosh, David Davidson, that is adorable. Look at them. They are just gorgeous.
They are.
My gosh. I just want to say thank you so much, Terry Schneider. I mean,
this is so important. So important.
We are so honored.
Yes,
and at this point, I think I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to David Davidson. David.
Yeah, I wanted to touch base on a couple things before we go. I wanted to touch base with y'all about how there are certain things you can do to help yourselves if you're in that situation. Knowing the signs is one of the most important things. And what a perfect way to explain it. Fuzzy.
Fuzzy. I think we need to add that.
Fuzzy, medicine head, confusion, lethargy. These things, that's all signs. Classic signs. And what'd she do? She did the 2 things that we all talk about. 1, you have to eat, not everything be junk food. There's nothing wrong with having king salmon and asparagus with a
just
little
not
lemon
right
sauce.
Before you're going to go out in the woods.
But if you're going to go out in the woods, I'd have a ho-ho and a ding-dong. I'm just saying.
Or honestly,
I'm just saying.
What did you say the other day? You said you have your emergency box in the car.
Well, it's called a go bag.
A go bag.
Yeah, and in this day and age, it's probably smart to have one. Have a gun, some ammunition, first aid kit, stuff like that. Well, I have extra stuff in mine. I have junk food, okay? And I have food that has a little bit longer expiration date on it. See, I look at all the expiration dates.
Preservatives.
Yeah, and I look to see what will last the longest. And the good news is when you need to rotate them out, I just eat it, If I go and get a new one, go and get the old one, eat it. I'm just happy I just get so happy eating that junk food. Junk food makes you happy, which is another reason, another part of how that works against the Squatch. We're going to get deeper into that in the coming episode. Because
they can't abide by it.
Yeah, we can't, exactly, which is why they can't abide the cat. It's a thing.
Because, they're health freaks, frankly.
Yeah, well, they've been around for all these years undetected, You know what I mean? Those silly photos that you see
Yeah,
from people.
you
Come
never
on,
see
folks.
anybody pulling a Squatch into the ER
No.
because I'm telling you right now, their fitness is beyond.
Exactly.
Beyond.
They don't run into one, oh my gosh, call an animal shelter, and they come out and pick up a Squatch, take it in, they think it's a bear, and they wake up in the morning, oh my gosh, it's a Squatch. That never happens.
It never happens.
Never. They're smart, they're sharp, they're fit, and they're dangerous, folks. That's why this letter was so important. But like I said, we're going to get into a little bit more of this because we're going to be talking about Dr. Wolfgang Z. Culberson in the Americas next. But we wanted to interject this letter because it's that important, okay? But we're up against the clock. Oh, there my gosh, that's our new alarm for the food.
Isn't that funny?
Isn't that
so
funny? I love that.
Okay.
Anyway, we got to go, folks. But on behalf of Donna Rochelle Davies, I'm David Davidson Davies Jr.
And I'm Donna Rochelle Davies, and we believe.